mitigate a lot of that damage. Yes, they have a lot of control, they have a lot of stuns, but at the end of the day, the damage dealer is going to run through JD. It's like a 4 protect 1. In terms of this lineup, though, do you think it's going to be enough? We're going to have to find out. Chantal Sagi, take it away.
This is game number 2 again, Wetrnd versus APG. We saw the dominating performance of APG at game number 1. This might be another dominating one, but it depends on the execution of Wetrnd. So it's the same Sagi rotation from Wetrnd that they want as much as possible limit the movements at the middle lane and even on the jungle camp.
And jungle camp here being secured by the hands of Darfin here. Very good steal away here in this early game here. With the mid and roam synergy coming in from Wetrnd, they do in fact clear out almost 2 of these camps coming in from the jungle of the hands of Yulong.
You know what, I'm not really familiar with the matchup between Guan Yu and Dharma. Are we expecting like a specific hero to be on the lead early game, like just for the skill set?
I think it's much more of a 50-50 as long as Yang positions well, but hang on a moment though, Darfin already burning that flash towards the bottom lane here as JD looking for the final blow here, does get the execution on towards Darfin here. 1v3 for Trend. Farm lane here, nowhere to run, and that is all he wrote.
Successful play again, a successful attempt by the side of APG, taking down the farm lane of Wetrnd. And yes, the U1 or Maze was there, but it was kind of late. And at the same time, you have 3 players for APG at the time. So things are a bit slow. I mean, it is at the Ganimo. Expect that as much as possible, Wetrnd might want to make things a little faster for them.
A little faster, but the primary thing coming into this bottom lane is how can they really damage this JD and Saber here. But Shizan being forced in the way by the hands of Arise, that's a 2-minute flash being on cooldown ahead of that Tyrant.
Now let's talk about the C pick of APG. We've seen this yesterday. A lot of potential coming in from this hero, and at the same time, it's like a security. It's like an insurance for the late game. So who do you think will be sanctified for this game?
Definitely JD on that ladies here, because we're looking at a 4 protect 1 here, but another kill comes in for the side of Aaron here with a superior snipe. But Xiang is already here. Aaron, he has to run away from this pacing here, but Yulong forced out by the members here coming in from Wetrnd. Wetrnd taking much more control of this Crimson Golem here. Looks like a fight is about to break out around this red side here, but members coming in from the bottom side. JD, Saber to the rescue for the junglers.
Okay, at that time, Wetrnd wanted to go for a play, but at the same time, we saw the players of APG being available for a team fight just in case. And for the side of APG, it's again the systematic Malaysian play that we're seeing. Difference is that we don't see Yulong on the jungle camps, probably because it's a Menki that is using. So 1 is the score 3 minutes into the game. Wetrnd has that minimal lead in terms of a gold, but we have to take note that things are pretty fast at the farm lane. That's why Maze is forced to be at that area.
I think a lot of pressure will fall on the hands on the side of Syndicate on that Dharma. If that Dharma could really find JD in all these attempts, that could spell a big of a good news here coming in from Wetrnd Esports in getting this game number 2 here. But bottom side here, Maze takes a bunch of damage towards his face here, going a bit too low for his liking here, but it's still a U1. You can heal up with that passive.
Yeah, as much as possible, there's going to be a sustain for the side of Wetrnd, and there might be a rotation at the bottom lane. We see 2 players from Wetrnd trying to do formation, and take note that we already have an objective in 9 seconds for APG. They're finding the tempo. Same goes with Wetrnd. What's really nice for the Filipino team is that they're the first ones to position themselves. Probably a contest on the APG side.
Tyrant already been taken down for the side of Wetrnd Esports here. Very good macro play here thus far coming in from the PKL representatives here. So far, Saber here taking a bunch of damage towards the face here. Flash forward full tempo onto a Saber here. Saber insanely low, but does get to limp away towards safety here. That is so close for comfort.
Yeah, it was a very nice knock up for the side of APG, stopping the players of Wetrnd at that moment. But Wetrnd, you've mentioned about macro plays or a macro thing for this game. I think they're focusing on that right now as to why we're not seeing a lot of skirmishes as much as possible. And even Aaron is slowly having that damage in items.
1v1 here coming in from Xiang. Xiang gets knocked towards the wall by the hands of Syndicate here. Syndicate coming into the rescue for Aaron here, taking the kill for Wetrnd Esports.
It's really important to be ready for a backup, just in case there's gonna be a play. If you look at the items, 3.9k versus 3k. This is a huge lead for a jungle, considering the fact that we don't have really team fights or skirmishes all throughout the game. So it feels like for APG, it's still their game. They're still dictating the rotation for this.
For me, Wetrnd, if they could really find those big engages like what Syndicate found just now, especially on towards JD, this game could really much be in their control. This is such a much better pacing coming in from the fan-voted PKL team.
Yeah, that's true. So we could see right now that even at the middle lane, everything's being covered by APG, but still the lead is on the side of Wetrnd. Every potential resource that they could take, they will take it, even trying to take down this bottom lane turret. But I think for APG, again, the strength of the team is more on team fights. There's going to be a position for them. Even Syndicate is here. Same goes with Mace. This could be a 5v5 anytime soon, but I think it's all about discipline now, whether or not these teams will go for a team fight.
APG here forcing the return route back towards the mid lane here does allow JD to really push down that mid turret with all those rolling rage here. Still, Wetrnd with a very slow and concise play, they do put themselves back in towards that mid lane rotation.
You know what? This is the beauty of HOK. If you are more in the utility jungle, then expect the game to be a bit slow. And then if it is an assassin,
Look at the side of Arise here, going in for the kill onto a Saber. Saber, first one to fall. JD, not long for the wall in this team fight as well. Yulong here, the next few target as we see the Infinite Bastards coming through for the side of Darfin here. Darfin using the right to Wizard, getting 3 back-to-back kills in the hands of Wetrnd Esports. Arise has risen up and getting that big engage on towards the dual lane.
And Wetrnd goes straight at the middle lane. And this is a huge edge for the Filipino team. 2.7k gold lead for them. And it's really nice that they got Yulong at a time. It's really more in the focus fire right now for Wetrnd that is working out for the team. And because of that, the lead earlier, that was around 1,000 if I'm not mistaken. For the
Now 3,000.
It's now even for both Arise and even Yulong. Pretty nice take for Wetrnd.
And then we take a look towards the kill score and goal lead as well. It is all in favor of Wetrnd Esports here. 5-1 in terms of kills. And also, with addition to that, a 3,000 goal lead. This is looking so healthy for the side of Wetrnd.
Yeah, that's true. And the thing now is I think we need to see the effectivity or efficiency of this Ming all throughout the game. It feels like they're a bit struggling to actually capitalize this hero. Overlord has been taken, by the way, by Wetrnd. And this is, again, the story of any Malaysian team. Even though the other team is on the lead, they find a way to somehow get other resources. We saw Siang trying to take down the turret at the bottom lane.
Aaron,
another formation for them.
getting slowed down. Might be the next target here with the Dream Roam. Dream Roam, nice disengage here coming in for the side of Arise. Arise with the magical play, saving his mid lane from danger here, getting pushed back into the team here. But Arise is still up and available. So, Khan tanking on that floorboard tank here with the remaining members of APG. Not long for the Gorge as JD is the final member here looking for a trade kill onto his Aaron, but it is not enough.
Syndicate with a double kill from the back, killing the players of APG at 9-1. Wetrnd 5.2k gold lead on this game, and it's now Wetrnd taking control for this game number 2. You also have to consider you have the Zia on the side of APG. If you're Wetrnd, you don't want to extend this game and have that Sanctify lead the Gorge.
On your point, Chantel, it is more on how APG slows down the game right now. With a 6,000 in favor of Wetrnd Esports, I gotta say, Wetrnd, you do not want to fumble this back because this is such a healthy condition you are at right now. This game is in your hands.
Yeah, that's true. Another Tyrant, by the way, taken by Wetrnd onto this game. It's all about positioning now. We could see a shift from the side of APG. So Maze is just there, giving vision for the team. You have the Universal Law. It's all about pokes right now. And we could see even Saber and even the Guan Yu Xiang at the top lane, trying to somehow minimize that or somehow take that minion wave at the top lane.
Minion Wave Talon has been sent towards the tower as well, so that does give JD a bit of those farm that you really need here. But look at the timer here. We're slowly approaching that 10th minute mark where these shadow objectives start to spawn here. If Wetrnd could really lock APG away from these shadow objectives and force a team fight, that could be a game-winning moment coming in from the PKL fan favorites.
Indeed, indeed. And we can see another item, by the way, for JD. By the way, JD has been consistent all throughout KNC. So for Wetrnd, if they're able to keep him at bay, then they can actually win the game as long as they're able to sustain the lead that they have. So if they're able to take down this Overlord, even a Tyrant, I think they should probably go and take another resource against APG, to which they're doing, by the way, all throughout the game. A very effective rotation by Wetrnd.
I'm loving the rotation coming in from Wetrnd here. Game 1, it was more on the fumble in those team fights and allowing APG to form a death ball. Game number 2 is looking so darn good here as Maze finds a 3-man engage onto his JD here. The 4 members coming in from APG are running away from their opponents here. That was such a beautiful engage coming in from the Wetrnd roamer.
What a setup play from Wetrnd, pushing back the players of APG. They take down a high ground turret, actually 2 high ground turrets for this one. 10-1. This might be it for the side of Wetrnd. APG trying to defend their base. Xiang is down. Will they be able to defend this?
2 waves crashing in from mid and clash lane here. Wetrnd Esports, they are looking to recuperate. They are planning their next few steps here as Arise. Going in for the engager. JD does not set to the wall here as Syndicate has to back over towards safety here. Xiang has respawned from the fountain here, but this push has been mitigated here coming in from APG. They still have a bit of room to play around in this game number 2.
Yeah, that's right. I think for APG, the struggle now is how to go for counter set against Wetrnd, because Wetrnd has been surprisingly consistent all throughout this game. I mean, it feels like they have a system right now. They know how to play against APG, and the story again is, I think there's no efficiency on how APG uses the Saber right now. I mean, not the Saber, the Ming rather.
Yeah, the Ming and Lady Sun combination, once you get caught out by so much of these engages in the form of the Dharma, in the form of the floorborne tank, and also Maze with those crazy engages, you really limited approach here coming in from a single carry lineup. That is such a greedy one for the side of APG, as we see Yulong being set towards the wall, but with a beautiful Dream Roam does escape towards safety.
By the way, Arise is already at 404. I'm not just sure if APG is able to sustain, or actually, even though the floorboard tank is the sustain one, I'm not sure if in terms of late game later on, will they be able to soak enough damage to actually burst this hero. So we can see even that Aaron has the items to shred the HP of APG on this one. Still, the lead is on the side of Wetrnd. We have the Vanguards marching in on all sides of the lane, particularly the bottom lane. So a lot of pressure coming in from the Filipino team.
Ooh, Shizan taking a bit of a damage, then more than he can chew here as this final Tier 3 tower falls in favor for the hands of Wetrnd Esports here. It is a Baron base with a big Overlord marching towards the bottom side here. Wetrnd Esports, is this your call? As Flash engage coming in from Maze, catches over JD, but there is no follow-up.
I could say that for Wetrnd, they're doing a slow burn against APG for this one. Taking down another tower. APG right now, they're pushed back at their base. This could be the final push for Wetrnd to tie the series 1-1. But again, for APG, they have the kit, they have the sustain with the Menki. They could go for a counter set of play. They have Zishan, who is currently at level 14. So just imagine that if ever Zishan is already at level 15, we'll expect the Sanctify later on. You've mentioned about JD being given that. So there is a lot of prowess in terms of late game on APG side. So the thing is, for Wetrnd, they want to end this game as early as possible.
Yulong taking a lot of damage from the flaming palms here on towards the backside. We see Xiang coming in from the flank on towards Aaron here, as Aaron needs to be backing off as the Infinite Vassals has been forced out by Wetrnd Esports here. But with the minion waves here, APG has to back towards their home. But look at Xiang. He's not allowed to escape in these situations yet. This could just be a very good 4v5 coming in for Wetrnd.
Xiang from downtown trying to get those wheels running against the players of Wetrnd. By the way, that was a nice zona play for Wetrnd. Wetrnd Sports to back away because of the low HP. Look at Syndicate just finding Xiang. Okay, you are a clash lane, and this might be a kill for him.
Yep, he does go down, and this is a 4v5 for the next 40 seconds here coming in from APG. If Wetrnd plays this well, this might just be the final push.
Syndicate is on fire, 401 on the Dharma. By the way, we have another item for Aaron that is more in the burst.
Right, going in, finding JD. JD, flash, but Aaron finds his marker here, catches JD with those purple swords with the final 2 kills on towards Yulong and JD. This game number 2, absolute dominance here coming in from the PKL fan favorites.
What a way to start the day number 2, match 1.